Hi, this is VoiceOver Drax. Um, so I made a mistake while recording this video. Of course, I'm brand new to this, so mistakes are to be expected. I accidentally did not set up my tracks properly, and neither the game audio nor any desktop audio for that matter was captured by my recording software. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a voiceover for this entire video. I will be doing a good amount of editing to the best of my ability. But let me know in the future if you guys would like to have full VODs for future videos, which I will continue making these, of course, or if you'd prefer just to have them edited down like this one has been. But without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. So, in the early game, I mainly was just running around trying to gather a little bit of wood and look for gravel. Of course, I was grabbing food here and there wherever I saw it and trying to keep an eye out for anything that might be useful. Wasting a little bit of time here and there as a noob does. So I sped up the footage just because really it's just super early game, nothing interesting's happening. We're just looking for gravel and gathering food. So while we watch this sped up background footage, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the goals of the series. So basically, I am doing a full Stone Age to Stargate run solo. The plan is I'm going to take breaks once I hit major milestones. At said major milestones, I'll probably take a very short hiatus of like a couple weeks just to recuperate, and during that time, let my machines run and stuff. Just not really do any serious progress. What these milestones will be, I'll have to decide as we get to them, or in time, I'll kind of tell you guys what I decided for them to be. At this point in the video, you can see that I realized my server utilities was not set up, so I can start the game. That sounded funny. So that takes a little bit, but speaking of server utilities, since we are kind of getting into what the rules and goals of the run are, so I am playing by the gate roll rule set. So I'm allowing set homes / back, teleporting to waypoints, stuff like that, because it makes the game significantly more friendly, I suppose. I mean, the only thing that running does really is expend time and food. And the game's already hard enough with all the machinery and the microcrafting and all of that. So I'm personally okay with having the homes and such. If you guys think teleporting across dimensions, like from other planets, isn't okay, um, maybe we can have like a discussion about it. Now, I personally think it should be fine just because, well, I mean, if I'm able to get to like the moon per se, right? Then I should be able to at that point make enough rocket fuel to go back and forth. So all it's going to do is save me like a minute going back and forth, the landing process, the launching process. It's not really helping me at all. I'll still produce the rocket fuel. That way, it's still expending resources, but I'm okay with having the teleportation back and forth for that. But back to the video, as you can see, we're running into a redwood forest, and I finally find my first gravel. It took forever. It's already been several minutes at this point, so you can imagine my stress at the fact that it's nearly nighttime and I just found gravel. Thankfully, I do find refuge in a nearby cave, as you can see right here, which I also find more gravel in. What a godsend. So I kind of dig myself into a little hole and realize, oh wait, I can use F7 to act as a primitive night vision source, which you'll see me take advantage of here in a second, so that I can box myself in instead of die horribly. I then quickly craft myself a pickaxe and start mining the stone around me in an attempt to get a furnace as soon as possible because I wanted to make a mortar for more efficient flint. In doing this, I actually get extremely lucky, um, and I find coal just in the room with me. I couldn't imagine being this lucky in any other case, so this was great, being able to actually see. Of course, using a little hidden mechanic that you can put a torch on your head in the equipment screen. So this is when I start finally going through the beginner quests. I kind of just zoom through the first couple ones, nothing special, just picking up dirt, detecting that the gravel and such. And then I realized that I need to actually get oak wood for one of the quests, which I wasn't able to do since, well, the mobs wanted me dead. Also, I found more coal, which was incredible. It's kind of in the middle of this, but this is the first voiceover I've ever actually done. I apologize if the quality of it isn't the best. I really am trying. Oh, at this point, I realize that there's a brutish skeleton sitting across the cave from me, so I take advantage of the nearby dirt to path my way across safely to some more gravel that I saw. Because there was a quest where I needed to craft some flint, and I accidentally crafted all my gravel into flint already. So that was kind of funny. And then I go too far, find a cave with lava with a skeleton waiting for me, and then turn directly toward the gravel. So this is pretty much what the entirety of this point of the game was, just trying my best to survive while finally finding gravel after nearly 20 minutes. You probably noticed here and there that there were Twitch chat notifications on the side, as well as a follow notification here and there. I was live streaming this on Twitch. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the intro or not, but I wanted to live stream the first couple of these videos just so people could live watch my progress for the Stone Age and possibly the Steam Age. But unfortunately, my streaming software did not want to cooperate with me, and I ended up having some issues where it kept dropping my stream. And then, not too long after that, I ended up finding out that I didn't actually record my voice at all. Then again, I was probably going to do a voiceover anyways. So I'm just gathering the oak wood from all the nearby bushes since I wanted to get an apple and an oak sapling, as well as the oak wood that I need for the various quests, of course. As you saw, I got an apple, although I did not notice that I got one. So I continue going until I get another, which I noticed right there. I mentioned something to the stream like, oh, I got two apples, I guess. At this point, I go directly across that river to start a base underneath that slime island. I'm at this moment amazed at my luck that I have a massive lake full of gravel, sand, and clay, as well as a slime island for nigh infinite rubber, giant redwood trees for all of the charcoal that I'm going to need for the near future, and I'm just ecstatic at this point. Unfortunately, with barely any materials to build with, I end up just making a crappy little house, honestly. I'm also struggling for inventory space, which I'm not too surprised by. Oh, there was also oil. Totally forgot about that. Did have a little bit of an oil deposit there. Happy about that since light fuel is going to probably be my fuel source in LV. Speaking of, so I am brand new to Gregtech. Well, not Gregtech, Gregtech New Horizons, though some would consider me brand new to Gregtech as well. I have played up to HV. I have not gone past HV really. I have managed to auto crafting in Nomi Factory before with an AE system, and I played Gravitas 2 all the way through to the end of HV, but gave up due to the incredible difficulty of it. Now, I personally believe that Gregtech New Horizons is actually easier than Gravitas. I'm having fun playing this pack. That pack was not fun. I do not recommend it. Um, and so I've gone to LV in Gregtech New Horizons. I played a little bit on an SMP I set up. Speaking of, said SMP is running as of right now. You guys are completely welcome to join it. Just join the Discord and obviously just follow some common sense rules. Just don't build any lag machines or anything like that. That's all I can really ask. At this point, you can see that I'm kind of just setting up with this little 5x5 cobblestone box that I tried to call a house, and a little bit of a farm since I managed to find an eggplant and a soybean, thankfully. I also got a little bit of cotton, but not very much, honestly. I just hadn't broken them at this point, but I'm going to do it shortly and plant them. Now, this is moments before disaster. As soon as it turns nighttime, some very not fun things start to happen. I forget to claim the base. Now, I'm sure you guys know, not claiming your base with mob griefing on is a terrible idea. And now I think, oh, well, if I just light around the whole house, it'll be perfectly fine, right? No, I was very wrong. Very shortly, a not so friendly neighbor comes to greet me right after I go back into the house after chopping down this redwood tree. As you can see, some other people are noticing my goal of the series, the solo Stargate. I am very much looking forward to doing this. I want to succeed. I want to show you guys what I'm capable of. I'm looking forward to it. But so we're basically just gathering woods to make all the early crafts easier, and I break my axe. So I go back down to craft a new one and then possibly continue chopping the tree because I think it's a great idea to be out at night. I'm very smart. I make some more chests, and then all of a sudden, an infernal creeper decides to delete me from existence. Thankfully, all it did was delete all of my torches. Now, at this point, I claim the area, but I forget to turn off mob griefing. I wonder if anything bad happens after this point. Not at all. Definitely. Anyways, I just kind of do some light organization of my stuff, just trying to separate the coins and other such. Slowly start trying to eat unique foods and stuff, and focus on completing quests. Speaking of quests, a huge focus for me in this pack is going to be doing quests. I'm going to try and stick to the quest book the best I can. There are certain points where I will stray from it, at points where I think it will be more efficient to. Examples of this will be things like I make the LV bender before I make the steam turbine, and same with the wire mill, because it is more efficient to do it that way. It's just smarter. Also, I made a mistake here. I didn't even realize it. If I had just crafted those cotton into the Natura type and then made seeds out of those, I would have had a much better time. But no, I grew Pam's cotton because I'm so smart. Um, Someone in chat's recommending that I make a spinning wheel, but I totally forget to do it. Honestly, this is the first time I actually remembered about it. I get my first kill on both a hostile mob and an infernal, which was very nice. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything good from it. So at this point, I'm just organizing my food items into various chests, and then I learn about the wood ash recipe that is much more efficient on bone meal than mortaring it. Turns out you can cook saplings into wood ash. I guess it's a recipe from Witchery. I never really played with the mod before, so I didn't know about it. Then I'd go around just kind of gathering some more oak wood because I need oak wood for various tasks, like making fences, because why wouldn't I be unable to use redwood at all to make fences? It's so messed up. Anyways, at this point in the game, I'm just kind of clearing out a bit of dirt, just planting things here and there, just kind of killing time, doing a couple quests. So I'm gonna kind of speed things up a little bit more than they already are. Let you guys see a bit of a montage of what I was doing. I'll slow it down if it gets to anything interesting, but until I'm to my next voice segment, I suppose. And so, after a little bit of looking through recipes, I do a slight bit of farming and plant some more eggplants before going around and exploring the nearby area a bit, grabbing a couple berry bushes here and there and just trying to figure out what is nearby. I'm mainly looking for garlic so I can make a stuffed eggplant, and unfortunately, I'm unable to find I believe it's the herb garden was what I was looking for. But I did find the obsidian totem nearby, which I found interesting, as well as a bunch of pears, which can be used for the sand pear, which is a very strange food. And then I got interrupted for a moment, which wasn't a big deal. But I then continued to explore around. Killed some sheep to get wool for a bed finally because I decided I do actually want to sleep through the night. That's a good idea. I failed to realize that letting animals burn to death does not give me kill credit, but quickly realized it, thankfully. And then I start being attacked by an infernal mob with Storm. Of course, this trolls me very hard by turning all of the nearby pigmen into zombie pigmen, or all of the nearby pigs, I mean. Little blooper for you guys. I get interrupted once again, which takes me a moment. Because I realize the stream is restarting over and over at this point. I give it a little bit more time, but you'll see very shortly here. I decide to just end stream and continue the recording separately. Anyways, I notice a massive forest fire due to that infernal mob. Set a home at some aluminum nearby because I would like to be able to make alamite as soon as possible. I focus a little bit more on completing quests after noticing that very rare pink sheep. Kill a jumping creeper because screw those things. And then continue to walk around a bit looking for more white sheep. Realize my stream once again restarted itself and decide at this point, hey, maybe I should just end the stream. So I finish up killing the nearby sheep, teleport home really quick, fix my home so I don't spawn on the ground, and then decide, okay, well, I guess I'll end my stream here. And so we'll be right back. And we are back. Now, I have switched to just recording rather than streaming as well, and you may notice here and there are a couple parts where it flashes back. I do apologize for that. It's because I was tabbing out by accident. I will get better about it in the future. It's because I switched to full screen. But anyways, I had been doing a little bit of mining underneath my base, and I discovered a little bit of coal. I was doing this to get the cobblestone for the quest that requires a stack of cobblestone, because I'm trying to move forward in the quests to the actual Stone Age ones, until I discover an iron deposit immediately beneath my base. Again, my luck is immaculate. I'm so happy at the fact that I have this because it's going to make the future so much easier. Getting steel, getting basically anything else. As soon as I have a hammer, I'm gonna mine the whole deposit because it's magnetite, vanadium magnetite, and gold. So I make a couple more torches with the coal that I received, and I kind of just mine out all the cobblestone I need until I eventually do actually finish the quest. Now, I did just realize my hotbar is not on screen. I did not realize this. I have over an hour of footage with the bottom of my screen missing. This is because I switched to full screen mode and did not double check that I had fixed it. So, sorry about that. I did not know that until literally just now. So I guess all you're really missing out on is seeing what my hotbar is and what I'm looking at, I guess. Anyways, I continue with my organization and start setting it up to where I can eat unique foods in my inventory. I put down my door until I realize there's a creeper outside. Um, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but it decided to just go through the wall and delete me. I don't know how this happened, but I immediately go into the settings to try and turn off mob griefing and decide, oh, I'll just do it within game commands. So I turn off mob griefing and I turn off fire ticks and restart my game. These do go along with the Stargate role guidelines, so I'm perfectly fine with doing this, especially considering I just lost everything. Thankfully, it looks like it didn't actually delete the items that were in the chest, it just deleted most of my chests. Lucky me. So it takes me a minute, but I start to rebuild the area. Um, and I pretty much just make into the same little 5x5 cobblestone cube. Be thankful for the fact that my door wasn't deleted, since I can't make another one. And yeah, so at this point, we're just gonna talk for a minute about kind of what I want to do for the next couple videos. So my editing is going to be kind of a focus of speeding up the content for just the first couple videos, just the Stone Age really. When we get to Steam, it's going to be kind of cuts of footage of where I'm at, whether I'm like doing mining. I'll kind of give you guys updates. You'll see most of what I'm getting done, but it might be sped up with voiceover or just kind of cuts here and there to what's going on. Now, at this point, I don't know why I'm trying to make it look fancy and decide, hey, maybe I should just put a cobblestone slab as my roof so nothing jumps in anymore, and I'll just make a new house later. I then realize I've covered up my cave and then fix the hole in the floor after making a few more chests. By fix the hole in the floor, I mean put it back. Kind of funny way to think about it, honestly. I do some reorganizing since my chests were destroyed before getting back to trying to progress. So here in a moment, you'll see that I finally start working toward the Tinker's quest line, which I don't know why it took me so long, but I'm finally doing it, so that's nice at least. And so after I reorientate the bed I just made, but never got to place, I decide to finish off that little cave entrance that I was mentioning, decide to make it more compact because I can. And then I get off to gathering the resources. Here in a moment, of course. I have to look at my quests first and right, I forgot I got distracted for a minute. Okay, so I make the knife. And then I start talking about how I am going to set milestone goals. I don't remember if I think I did mention it earlier in the voiceover, but I am going to set milestones where I take breaks as I hit them just to keep from burning out. There will be short breaks, probably like a week or two bet- between when I continue. Of course, I'll still continue to let my base run during these times to build up resources, but I will be taking these occasional breaks once I hit major milestones. The first one likely won't come until around the time I get an AE system, just so that automation is going fully. However long that might take to hit. Speaking of time passing, um, I am expecting the next update to Gregtech New Horizons to be coming out very soon. 2.8, I believe it's called, is coming out. They're going to be removing IC2 crops, as well as the infinite chicken flight potion trick. But in exchange, they're adding other methods of creative flight, as well as a different crop breeding system. Speaking of crop breeding, I think I mentioned earlier I'm not going to be doing any IC2 crops really. Bees I'm going to try to avoid, but if I hit a point where I do need bees, I will end up doing it. But anyways, in the background here, you can see that I'm going around gathering all the sand and clay and gravel that I need to complete the gathering quests at the beginning. I failed to realize that this does not actually get me enough sand needed for the coke oven, which is my current goal. I also just want to unlock Tinker's because Tinker's tools are so much better than Gregtech Flint tools. But I just kind of go around, I gather all the clay, the gravel, and such that I see. It takes a few minutes, but I do get it done. At this point, of course, we speed up the footage just a little bit more, just because who wants to watch me sit around gathering sand, gravel, and clay? I mean, it's not the most entertaining content, let's be real. So at this point, I'm still thinking, oh, maybe the end goal of the video will be a smeltery, because I think that the smeltery's within reach. I'm a very funny person. I don't know why I thought that I could make a smeltery within an hour at this point. I couldn't. It's just not really plausible. Um, Thankfully, I do manage to accomplish the other goal, being the coke oven. Um, at this point, you may notice all I was missing was gravel, so I'm focusing on just that. And now I finish the quests and decide, oh, I'll just grab a little bit more clay, why not? Because clay is definitely something I need at this moment. Then you'll notice I run around, I kill some squid, and then we slow down the video again, because who wants to watch me look like a chipmunk sprinting? I claim some loot bags, since gambling is the only correct option when it comes to quest rewards in this game. And of course, I hope that I actually get something good from them, but almost never do. I open up my quest reward bags here momentarily, and I believe I did get something decent. It was just some food, but more food is always nice, honestly, especially at this point in the game. But I'm still hoping for like the Pan of Doom or whatever the Stone Age weapon is. I think Pan of Doom is Steam Age. I had a friend get it. It was really funny. So at this point, I'm going around killing the cows because I both need some leather and because there's a quest for it. I noticed there's a gooseberry tree, which is always nice, of course. Because more crops means more foods, and more unique foods means more hearts. And I do want to get my hearts as high as I possibly can at some point. I'll probably end up going for the healing axe at some point, but since I experienced what it's like to have one, I'm probably gonna put it off for a while, honestly. It's not required. I could just focus on making 6 sustainable foods, and I'm pretty sure I could just do that with like rice, soybeans, garlic, and eggplant. But at this point, I make another mortar for a quest, claim the extra stone from the stone quest, and start working toward a clay bucket. Realize I made way too much clay dust. Decide to grind more clay because I'm going to need clay dust down the line. and decide it's probably best if I only make one clay bucket. So thankfully, I don't waste all my clay dust. Make that and decide I'm going to take raisin cookies because they have better total nutrition. And then I start grinding up all my wood for wood pulp, which I hate. It's time to make paper. We love making paper. Oh, wait, we don't. I'm very happy that I both have an extra crafting table and that I live in the middle of a giant lake, so making the paper thankfully was relatively easy. I just take a couple minutes. Well, not a couple minutes. I take about a minute here making all the paper for the quest, but I wait a minute before turning into patterns because I want to see if I can find a jungle sapling anywhere. I realize I'm not anywhere near a tropical biome, so I decide that I'm going to take advantage of the RTP function that I enabled, which I'll be doing here momentarily. And you'll see where I end up. I get incredibly lucky once again and spawn in the middle of a bamboo forest. If you don't know, bamboo works exactly like sticks, saving me immense amounts of wood, which is just so nice. I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but when you don't have to turn one log into two sticks, you're happy about it. Anyways, I noticed that there's another incredibly lucky find, a brick roguelike. Now, these are being removed in the next update because they're overpowered. You literally just gather all of the bricks from them, and you pretty much have a blast furnace just like that. I also don't notice immediately, but I find both the jungle sapling and a piece of paper that I was wanting in that chest. There's another jungle sapling on the bookshelf, and an acacia sapling across the room. It made amazing luck. So now I can make a paper bark sapling, which I've already made, which will allow me to grow infinite paper as long as I have patience and or bone meal, giving me all the patterns I need and later on other things that need paper. I decide that as a reward for the bamboo, since I've already got saplings, I'll take the punji sticks because I like having a little bit of base defense. It's kind of nice. I also see that there are simple offensive weaponry crafts that I can do, the shield and the spear, which, why not just complete some quests? I might as well, right? It gives me loot bags after all. I then make the leather shield in exchange for two fences, because that was definitely a good trade of four of my leather. But I equip those and don't get too much use out of them at this point of the game because let's be real, I shouldn't be fighting anything right now. But anyways, there's that paper bark sapling I was talking about. I used the wood ash I made earlier for the efficient bone meal recipe, and I prepare to go plant it. I plant it and I decide to try and be patient and wait for it to grow. Realize that I have no patience whatsoever because there are things I need and want to make. Because I start crafting all of the Tinker's Table parts and realize I have no patterns left to make anything I legitimately would want to make, as we'll find out here in a second. After I realize that I don't actually need to make a crafting station to make the tool station. It just takes me a minute to look through all the saw blades thinking I missed something. Find the stone saw, realize I can't make it, realize I'm stupid, and then actually make the tool station. So then I use one of the patterns to make the wooden form brick for the Coke oven. We're almost there. And of course, start doing the paper bark stuff. So at this point, I just spam it with bone meal, turn those into patterns, and then realize I have no place to put my tinker setup. So we're gonna put it underground. Um, I don't realize it first, but quickly turn on F7 because this place is very dark. I steal a torch from my farm to light it up so no mobs spawn, hopefully. Eat a couple more unique foods. Realize that a mob can spawn upstairs, fix that. And then start making my first tools. I make myself a flint pickaxe, axe, and shovel. And then I start looking into trying to make a sword because I didn't realize that I can't make a sword. I'm very smart, I know. I, of course, toss out all my Gregtech flint tools, get upset that the flint pickaxe actually will never be able to mine magnetite, but don't realize it first. I decide, oh, I should grind out a mob head. I also accidentally make an axe pattern, like an extra one, because I wanted to make the second volume of the Tinker's Materials book so that I could refer to it later on. I make a throwing knife for the quest, using bamboo for the tool rod, of course. I start trying to make the sword, start talking about how I like the long sword over the rapier, and then start to make the tough decision of which one I would want to make. Of course, I then get distracted by realizing, oh wait, I can make a coke oven, and completely forget about the sword for a moment. Go back in there to try, realize I cannot make the handguard out of flint, and then realize I can't make the sword out of flint, and that I wasted my time. I then instead make some bone tool rods to raise the durability of my tools, though not by much. Realize it's more efficient to make it out of bone meal, so I do that. And then I start to actually use my tools. I realize there are mobs outside, so I can't sleep. Start trying out my flint throwing knife. I get a skeleton head on my first skeleton kill, which was kind of funny. And realize I don't really want to waste that just to gain one mining level on the pickaxe. So I start hoping for a zombie and realize, oh wait, I got those punji sticks. Maybe I should use those for a trap. Then I realize I can make 5B in one block and waste a bunch of time and effort trying to fix that while spiders wander overhead. I quickly set it up in a way that does not work whatsoever since it's 2 blocks from my wall. Quickly try to fix that and somehow lure a skeleton in and get nothing from it. And then think that I'm smart in using a wooden spear. I then get a fire zombie trying to break in, manage to kill it for some coal and a head. Very lucky that my first zombie kill got me a head. Try to use that to mine some magnetite, realize I can't, be upset about it, and continue trying to eat some unique foods. I then decide these punji sticks aren't going to do anything for me when they're 2 blocks away from the wall. Move them a little bit closer and try to lure some stuff in. Have to kill a tough spider, which takes ages. And just to kind of save you guys the time of finding out, this hole does nothing for me. If I had some trap doors, it could have done a little bit more, but I didn't have a saw, so I couldn't make any slabs. But I did manage to kill one zombie with it, thankfully. But that's the extent of the use I got out of it. That hole is still sitting next to my base. It's just can't use it. I checked the trapdoor recipe, realized I couldn't actually do it, and then tried to kill this tough zombie, which wanted to play Ring Around the Rosie. Thankfully managed to trap it inside. Took its time dying, but I got some flint out of it, I guess. I checked the farm, do a little bit of just storing all my items, and then decide that maybe, just maybe, planting some bamboo would be a good idea. I plant some a little bit too close to the redwood, fix that, and then start killing all the remaining mobs in the area. That somehow didn't go poorly. I got an iron from that zombie, super lucky. And here's where I started crafting the coke oven bricks. I checked the amount I needed. For some reason, think I had too much sand and realized I didn't have enough. And then I go and start to dig. Now, at this point, I didn't realize maybe I should have some spare flint on me because the shovel does not at all have enough durability for all the sand I need. But it's okay. I find out when I break it. Then I go back and repair it, and I finish off getting the rest of the sand I need after killing this armor creeper, which decided it liked me. Now, my incredible luck continues, in which I got no drops from that creeper at all. I honestly thought that's where I got my creeper head, but no, apparently not. But anyways, I finished gathering all of the sand I needed, started smelting my coke oven bricks with a ridiculous amount of oak wood for some reason, then go outside and decide, oh yeah, I should chop down that redwood I was working on. So I go and do that. Now, this does take me a solid minute, but I gathered this entire redwood, and honestly, I'm glad I started in this biome. These are good trees, a really good source of wood. Charcoal is going to be so much easier starting out with large trees. Just sucks how long it takes to chop them with flint hatchet. Honestly, I cannot wait to make a lumber axe. I really want to cheese alamite if possible. With that roguelike, honestly, I might be able to get all the steel I need though. So I just finished chopping down the rest of this tree, of course. And just gonna let the video play. Very enticing wood chopping gameplay, I know. I promise future videos are going to be better. I won't forget to have my voice actually be in the game anymore. At this point, I'm amazed at the amount of wood that I'm actually gaining from this tree. And at the same time, I'm glad that I'm not chopping down a sacred oak because, oh my god, those take so long to chop down. I'm also glad that they're not redwoods from Natura because, wow, those ones are worse. I will say though, I am probably going to be taking advantage of rainforest oaks at some point. But either way, I finished chopping that tree, started chopping a second one, realized I was insane for it, and realized I got a creeper head from that armor creeper after all. I picked it up on my way over to the tree, it just flew in a different direction. I gotcha, guys. I did get incredibly lucky, don't know how, but I ran around with the coal that I got from that zombie and lit up the rest of the areas. Got all of my coke oven bricks smelting up as I go around and decide I should kill some more cows. Because leather is a need that I will always have, and I'm not really worried about breeding cows because by the time I actually need to breed them for leather, I'll have access to golden lassos. So I go around killing all the cows in the area, just getting a bit of steak for crafting foods with, and at least a little bit of leather for crafting leather gloves since I'm going to need it for the smeltery. And decide I should check on my cotton farm while harvesting some nutmeg on the way home. I harvest my sugarcane a little bit early and realize that some of my cotton was ready for me. I realize how close I am to being able to actually finish the quest I'm on and grow some extra cotton. Finished up that quest and gathered the Natura cotton seeds as a reward from it. I was very happy, as you saw, and wiped out the pan's cotton entirely since it had no purpose in my mind. Now, I decide that bone mealing this is a good idea, but it most certainly was not. I did not get nearly enough cotton that I needed for the gloves, and so I kind of just wasted my bone meal. Anyways, I finished the coke oven bricks and actually crafted the coke oven at this point. And so I end up walking outside with the coke oven bricks and start to work on a coke oven. Realize that I built it over a chunk border because I'm very intelligent, of course. And so I quickly fixed that, get the actual achievement for making a coke oven, which was nice. I'm not sure why you don't get it from crafting, that you have to break a block, but whatever. I put some of that redwood in there, which of course I'm very happy about. And this is pretty much at the end of the video. At this point, I'm just kind of looking through a couple more quests, realizing how long the coke oven's actually going to take to finish. And so I just want to say at this point that I really want to thank you all for watching this video. It's the first one that I've made in a very long time. I tried making videos once before like 10 years ago or something. And I had fun with it, but I never learned how to edit. So this honestly has been a new experience for me. And I'm looking forward to slowly improving over time going forward. And I would appreciate any feedback that I got from you guys, kind of teaching how or giving me any ideas that you guys may have about how this or that may improve the videos going forward. But either way, once again, I just want to say thank you. And I'm gonna do the stereotypical thing and say, go ahead and drop a like, comment, or subscribe if you'd like to see more. The quality will, of course, improve over time. Just comment any ideas you have for the series, any ideas that you have for me for improvement on the videos, or things that you'd like to see done, whether it be on this or anything else. But thank you guys again for watching, and I will be seeing you next time. All right. Bye bye.